Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Ohio.
Memorial Day offers Americans a time to reflect, a time to remember those who sacrificed for the freedoms we have in our country. Baseball also offers a chance to remember. And today, the Indians welcome Rajai Davis back to Cleveland. The last time he was on the diamond at Progressive Field was one of the greatest moments in franchise history. Memories can be made at any time, and we may have a chance for another one next on Sports Time Ohio. Hall of Famer and World War II veteran Bob Feller stands guard over Progressive Field on this Memorial Day as the Cleveland Indians welcome in the Oakland Athletics for a 4-game series. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. The Indians got a much-needed win yesterday, and they busted out offensively with 18 hits, one shy of their season high. And Jason Kipnis, for the second time this year, produced 4 hits. He's been on fire out of that leadoff spot.
Well, and you watch him stay on the baseball. 3 of his 4 hits came against left-handed pitching, up the middle, and one the other way. He faced one right-hander yesterday, doubled off the wall, and then they're going to make a mistake on him inside. He goes deep for his 4th hit. It was a great afternoon, and Jason Kipnis has just felt very at home in that leadoff spot. Only 13 games has he been in that spot, 351 average, but the key here, 7 go-ahead RBIs, which leads the team. That's impressive from the leadoff spot. They need Jason to make that little spark for this ball club, and so far he has.
Speaking of sparks, Rajai Davis provided more than a few sparks for the Indians a year ago. When you think back on it, not many times does a 35-year-old have a career year, but that's what we saw. He had a career high in runs, in home runs, and, oh, by the way, he led the league with 43 stolen bases.
Yeah, and one of the biggest hits of the year, maybe in the history of the Cleveland Indians. In Game 7, he goes deep. Never forget it. This place was rocking out there on the plaza. Look at it. It was electric. The players in there before everything happened. Not many guys get an opportunity to homer in a Game 7 and go on. The unfortunate thing was the Indians did not win that game, but there's the names that had it. Rajai, the last one. He is going to be honored today. He will be given his American League Championship ring prior to this game.
Raj is great. He said, I'd be embarrassed if I told you how many times I've gone back and watched that home run that he hit last year in Game 7 of the World Series. We're back with all the play-by-play action between Cleveland and Oakland coming up next. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Nature Stone, the only concrete solution.
too, and sleeps with his bat. So yeah, it's pretty special.
That's Rajai Davis with our Hear Right sounds of the game. And obviously he's excited to be back here in Cleveland. As Terry Francona said, he's happy to see him. Now he just hopes he strikes out 4 times. The Oakland A's starting lineup is brought to you by Hankook Tires. Rajai Davis leading it off. Chad Pinder bats second. Jed Lowry is third. Chris Davis third in the American League with 15 homers. Batting cleanup. Yonder Alonso right behind him. Then Ryan Healy, Stephen Vogt, Trevor Plouffe, Matt Joyce batting ninth.
And Carlos Carrasco is our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for the Tribe. He's making his 10th start this year. He's 4-2 on the year and a 2.93 ERA, a nice ERA. All 4 of his wins have come on the road. He's looking for his first win at home this year. He's pitched well. He's 3.91 ERA, but still 0-2. And he's pitched against Oakland. He was 1-0 last year. Pitched 8 innings, 4 hits, did not allow a run, and 2-0 in his career. So he's looking to get his first win at home today. Keep it rolling.
Phil Cuzzi will call the balls and strikes. Nick Lentz at first. Mark Ripperger at second. Crew chief Tom Hallion is down at third, and we are ready to go here this afternoon. Carlos Carrasco's first pitch is a fastball for strike 1. 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Pretty good breeze blowing out toward center and right center field as Rajai cuts and misses, and the count is 0-2. After yesterday's game was completed, the storms rolled through northeastern Ohio and lasted all night long.
Yeah, the timing has been really good. This has actually been a very good weekend, which we thought was going to be worse.
2-strike pitch is fouled over toward the Indians on deck circle. Rajai Davis at 36 years of age is 0 for his last 12. And you see there, off to a slow start offensively. He spent some time already this year on the DL with a hamstring injury. Indians play him straight up on the infield and in the outfield. Carrasco's 2-strike pitch is a little high. He lays off. And Carrasco trying to get himself back on track. He was on his way to becoming in the all-star starter conversation. Davis spoils a tough pitch there.
Yeah, that was an emergency hack, but stayed alive. Going to be a slider. Now watch. He didn't want to go, but then he realized, boy, he picked that one out of the glove of Gomes. But he's still alive for another pitch.
And the 1-2, yanked it, and the count evens. Carlos Carrasco was sitting at 4-2 after his 7 innings, 3-hit shutout performance against the Toronto Blue Jays back on May 9th. But 6 days later, roughed up against Tampa Bay. 8 days later, the results were just okay against Cincinnati. Fouled off.
Yeah, he could easily be 4-0 in the month of May, Matt. That game against Tampa, the left pectoral muscle, if you remember, it bothered him. He had to come out of that start, but the offense had him 7 runs on the board. He left leading that game, and Tampa came back to win. And then Cincinnati, he was leading 7-3 and only pitched 6 in the third, and no decision there.
Now the bullpen let that one get away from Carrasco in terms of a decision. Here's the 2-2. Hit well. Deep right field. Back goes Austin Jackson, and he will make the catch shy of the warning track for out number 1.
Take a look at the Indians defense, brought to you by Ram. Behind Carrasco today will be Brantley in left, Zimmer in center, and Austin Jackson gets a start in right. It's Ramirez at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis is at second, Santana at first, and Gomes doing the catching.
Carlos Carrasco needed 8 pitches to dispose of Rajai Davis. Now he'll go to work on Chad Pinder, the A's shortstop. He went too far at strike 1. He's piling up the home runs here. 4 homers hit in his last 11 games.
Well, this is an Oakland team. They're 3rd in the league in home runs with 71. As a team, they've hit 40 in the month of May.
Yeah, they have some guys that, for whatever reason, just recently have bunched the home runs together.
Yeah. And you know, that's this guy, Chris Davis. I mean, he can hit them out of the ballpark. They've hit 71, and they've only allowed 46 as a team, which is the fewest in the majors. So that's a pretty good disparity right there.
Swung on and missed. Carrasco comes back and strikes out Pinder on 3 pitches.
Take a look at the slider on our Nissan pitch tracker. Great location, and that's Carlos. When Carlos gets out, he's a strike throwing machine. He's normally strike 1 to most hitters, and then he expands a little bit and he gets a lot of swings and misses. And when he's on his game, he's going to get a lot of outs on 3 pitches or less, just like Josh Tomlin did yesterday.
Boy, Josh Tomlin was sensational, going the distance. Jed Lowry takes a called strike. Lowry tied for 3rd in the American League with 15 doubles.
He's having a nice year offensively, hitting 300, 6 homers, 16 ribbies.
These Memorial Day uniforms with the military accents, they go perfectly with the normal Oakland color scheme.
Yeah, they do.
It's like just a regular uniform for the A's.
Yes, they do. Fits right in.
Now the 1-1. Pulls it foul. The Indians begin the day 25-23, just 2 back of front-running Minnesota, who lost in extra innings yesterday.
A long one there, 15 innings.
Oakland 22-27, 5 games below the break-even mark, 12 games off the pace in the West. Houston running away with that division. Swinging a foul back. The Astros have the biggest lead in baseball, 10 games over the Angels and the Rangers. Oakland then 12 back, Seattle 13 back. Houston has won 4 straight coming into today, though it looks like the Twins are handing it to them so far. 7-2, Minnesota leading in that one. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Carrasco strikes him out to end the inning. The A's go 1-2-3. Carlos fans a pair. The Indians are coming to bat. Today brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Jason Kipnis, Francisco Lindor back-to-back. Then it's Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana, Edwin Encarnacion in the middle. Jose Ramirez, Yan Gomes, Bradley Zimmer, and Austin Jackson batting ninth.
And today's Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher, Daniel Megden, making his season debut at the major leagues. Those are his numbers at AAA this year. He started the year on the disabled list. He had foot surgery in the offseason, so he's gone down and made a couple of starts. He made 14 starts for him last year. He was 2-9 with a 6.50 ERA. He was 0-7 at home, but most of his wins came on the road. He was 2-2, but he had a very high ERA. You can see the full windup. You don't see that much anymore. And he double pumped. A little Paul Bird action.
Looking for all the deception he can muster up.
He got the part of the Raleigh Fingers mustache working.
A little high, 2-1.
He has an assortment of pitchers: the slider, the curveball, the changeup. He'll two-seam it.
Missed outside with his fastball, and it's 3-1. Jason Kipnis, since moving into the leadoff spot, has batted .351.
Great day yesterday for Kip.
Oh, he pops him up on the 3-1 pitch. The left fielder Chris Davis coming in and makes the catch. One down.
Let's look at that A's defense. And it's brought to you by WB Mason, and it's the worst in the league. They're last. They've made 49 errors. It's Chris Davis in left, Rajai Davis at center, Joyce is over and right. Plouffe at third, Pinder at short, Lowry at second, Alonso at first, with Vogt doing the catching. Now they're 11 errors more than the next closest club, which is Tampa. So defensively, if you get an opportunity, they give you extra outs, you certainly want to take advantage of it.
You know, Bob Melvin certainly knows that you cannot afford to give teams extra outs.
That's true.
And a fastball right there for strike one.
35 unearned runs allowed for Oakland this year. They've given up 244 runs, but only 209 were earned.
What has to be of particular trouble for Bob Melvin is the fact that his catcher, Stephen Vogt, has already committed 6 errors. That's the most among American League catchers, and he's got the worst percentage in terms of throwing out base stealers in all of baseball.
Yeah, they've allowed 42 stolen bases. Now, you can put your running shoes on. A's catchers have 10 errors. The outfielders also have 10, and their pitchers have 7. So I mean, that's a tough road to overcome.
Now the 2-1. Lindor hammers it to right field, right at Joyce. He squared that baby up.
Yeah, good
swing. Hit it right into the tracks of the A's right fielder. And we'll go down into the tracks of Andre Nunn.
Well, thank you very much, Matt. As we've talked out throughout the weekend, Major League Baseball has done a wonderful job with the Memorial Day weekend, with the uniforms you've seen on the players, the different hats on both teams. But they also have something else special today. This ball that they are playing with today is not a ball that they've played with all weekend long. The stitches, as you can see, they are green. The name official Major League Baseball, all in green, and all the proceeds go to their funds. Pretty cool, neat little thing they've done today on Memorial Day with the baseballs that are being used in today's games.
So that would be a pretty nice coup if you can get a foul ball, huh?
Well, I'm keeping this one in one pocket, and I got a glove down here, and I'm ready for a couple more.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that'd be. Get me one, please.
Well, the way you talk about me and call it the ugly finder, I'll have to think about that.
Okay, I'll pay for it, and I know you'll sell it.
There's a foul off to the left. Michael Brantley has hit in 12 straight. And he is now 8th in the American League in batting average. 2 down, bases empty here in the first. Daniel Megden. Unique windup, a little old-fashioned over the top, and a foul back by Brantley.
We'll see how many times he can get the ball down in the zone. But yeah, you don't see windups like this anymore. It's a rarity. It looks out of place almost now, doesn't it? When you see somebody's wide over there. Watch his foot comes off the rubber too before he puts it back down. Totally off.
Up and away with it, 2-2.
But so far in this first inning, a lot of pitches from Megden have been upstairs.
Brantley looked like he was just feeling for it, fouls it off.
Watch that right foot that's in contact with the rubber. He'll move it, take it off, and then slide it in on the corner of the rubber.
In this day and age of the minimalist windup and delivery, he is an absolute throwback. Brantley hits it hard, smashes it at Pinder, and on the backhand he's able to throw him out. And the Indians go 1-2-3. We are scoreless after 1. Indians and the Athletics is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving around the world on land and on ships at sea. And we welcome you in. And we remember the words of General George Patton, who said, "It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God such men lived." Carlos Carrasco facing Chris Davis, the cleanup man for Oakland. And he has cleaned up quite a bit this year with 15 homers. That's tied for the third most. Aaron Judge hit another one today for the Yankees. He has 17. Problem with Chris Davis is that while he has tremendous power, there are holes. He has hit only 188 in his last 17 games.
Yeah, this guy, not a big guy, but amazing power to center and right center field. He really waits on the ball and generates some bat speed that way. But you make your pitches. He's a typical home run hitter. You can get him to swing and miss. And Carlos Carrasco has been 0-2-1-2 to the first 4 hitters in the Oakland lineup.
Chris Davis among the top 10 in strikeouts in the American League. He's whiffed 58 times. Make it 59. And Carrasco has struck out 3 in a row.
It looked like it was another slider right there on the outside edge. Great location. Again, ahead in the count.
Yonder Alonso.
This guy is really having a career year.
He's having a career month. He's hit 9 home runs in May.
And 9 is a career high. I mean, for homers in a year.
That's the most he's ever hit in a single season.
Exactly. He broke down his swing and really started to use his lower half to where he can drive the ball now to the opposite field as well as turn on it with just a little bit of a leg kick.
Lined it right at the third baseman Ramirez. You know how hard that ball was hit because you could see Ramirez sort of backing away from it as it was nearing his vicinity, but he stays with it, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, we had a good look. That high leg kick, and he just slaps it the other way, and Hosey was on the side. He wasn't going to get in front of it, but he was able to snag it and throw him out. I'll tell you, there's been a few balls the Indians hit very hard too in their first inning. Look at me. I don't know if he's laughing about that or not. Yeah, he had the glasses down. Now the glasses are up because that sun is behind some clouds.
Yeah, it's in and out quite a bit here in the early going. Ryan Healy, the DH, takes inside ball 1. Healy, another guy who's binging. He's got 5 homers in his last 21 games played.
This is an Oakland team. They love to play at home, and they have struggled on the road. They're 7-17 on the road. They're 15-10 at home. The Indians are the exact opposite. They're 16-10 on the road and 9-13 at home. But they have played the American League Western Division very well at 10-2.
Swung out and missed. And Healy in the hole, 1-2. Ryan Healy in a DH position, batting in the 6th hole. One of 5 right-handed bats in there against Carrasco today. Now the 1-2. Carrasco has struck out 4 of the first 6 to start the afternoon. No score, middle of the 2nd. Perfect afternoon. A few clouds overhead, but mostly sunny skies here in northeastern Ohio. That's the Bob Feller statue that stands out on the plaza as fans enter the ballpark from the center field entrance. Carlos Santana takes a strike. I had a friend text me this morning about Bob Feller, and think perhaps because it's Memorial Day, we reminisce more about Bob than normal, and you find yourself missing his presence here at the ballpark.
Man, I've missed him for a long time. Always a treat to talk to.
As great as his career was, a Hall of Fame pitcher, one of the best ever. You and I were just in Cincinnati where they had the wonderful autograph exhibits.
Yeah, right.
And Ted Williams on the inscription on the autograph said, boy, I hated facing those guys from Cleveland. And he named Bob Feller in particular as one of his toughest foes. But aside from all that, Bob Feller always said that his service to his country was more important than his baseball career by far, because as he said, that was a war. That was one we could not afford to lose.
Yeah, he would tell stories and go on and on. Baseball was one thing, but the country was much more important.
Edwin Encarnacion taking a fastball strike from Daniel Mengden. He made 14 starts last year. He went just 2-9 with an ERA of 6.5. But right out of the gate here today, he's throwing strikes. He looks sharp, and he's got Encarnacion on the whole 0-2. The only strange thing is to see an Oakland A's pitcher wearing 33, because I see an A's jersey wearing 33, and immediately I think of Jose Canseco. Pitch up high. He was just a tad burlier than Mengden, a little bigger.
Just a bit. Well, we'll see if he follows it up with a slow curveball, changing the eye level with 2 strikes. Double pump. There it was.
Right at the third baseman, Trevor Plouffe. And so far, Oakland defenders have been on point. 1-2 down. Storylines today are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Hopefully Carlos Carrasco can follow Josh Tomlin's lead, and offensively we'll see if the Indians can get on the board early. When the Indians score first this year, they are 16-9.
Yeah, they had opportunities in their last 3 losses on this homestand. They had the leads and gave them right back. Kansas City twice and Cincinnati once.
Hit hard, right field. Joyce over, can't get it. And this is Ramirez rolling into second base with a 2-out double.
Well, he's starting to sting the ball and hitting it to all fields. Posey had 3 hits yesterday. He's coming up with double number 10, and this is a line shot. He went fastball inside, and he's pretty quick in there. That ball gets by Joyce in right field, hops off the wall, but still, it's only going to be a double, but a 2-out double, so a chance of a base hit to get on the board now.
Ramirez still owns the second best home batting average in the American League at .354 coming into today.
And it looks like it's starting to go up because he's swinging it pretty well.
Yeah, it gives him a hit in 4 straight. And now Yan Gomes. First time we've seen Mengden out of the stretch. So all of the gyrations with the windup, trying to create any type of deception, that's sort of all out the window now. From the stretch, he looks like just about any other starting pitcher.
Except those arms go up pretty high.
Low and away, 2-0. Now the 2-0. And Gomes takes again, ball 3. Gomes was absolutely sizzling in the month of May. He's still hitting .291 this month with 3 homers, 7 runs scored, and 10 runs batted in. But just recently fallen into an 0 for 10 slide. Just outside ball 4. Looked like Phil Cuzzy flinched a bit.
You know, it's almost like Gomes went to start to put the bat down. He didn't do it, and then all of a sudden he did, and Cuzzy looked like he was going to ring him up, and he didn't. So it goes as a walk. Let's see. Watch it here. He decoyed me. There he goes. Never mind. I thought he was going to raise the right hand.
Usually when Phil steps back with that right foot, that's the start of his strike call, but hey, he's allowed to change his mind.
And you know what? That over 10 maybe get Gomes going. He got into this situation from a lot of walks and being patient up there.
Right.
So let's see if that bodes well for him today.
Well, here's Bradley Zimmer, the rookie, with 2 on and 2 out in the 2nd inning. And takes the first pitch, strike. Zimmer hasn't been here that long, doesn't have a ton of at-bats. This is only his 12th game, his 27 at-bats. But so far so good. He's batted .350 against right-handed pitchers, and he's 3 for 6 when he's had a runner in scoring position.
And he's played a pretty decent center field, all things considered. You know, it's hard to, you know, in that number of games, 12 games, to really get a look and a read, because sometimes you don't get a lot of action out there. But he's held his own.
Down on the dirt. And it is 2-1. Zimmer trying to deliver.
Right now, since Ramirez has been on base, he's had a tough time out of the stretch throwing strikes.
Little tapper back to the mound. Mengden fields it, fires it, and the side is retired. Indians strand a pair. We are scoreless through 2. Most games allowing a first run, in other words, falling behind early, it's been the Oakland A's. Bottom third of the Athletics order due up here. Stephen Vogt will lead it off. And the A's catcher takes a strike. And Rick, as I pointed out before, with all of the defensive miscues that Vogt has suffered through 6 errors, he's thrown out just 2 out of 26 base stealers. You've got to hit to keep yourself in a lineup, and he hasn't really produced much offensively either.
Well, I mean,
now everybody's due a bad year. I understand that, but I just think when you play for a manager who is a catcher, I think back to Eric Wedge, he was very demanding of the catchers because that's the position you know best, and I'm sure Bob Melvin's the same way.
Yeah, you're expected to call a game and throw well. Well, he didn't. He hasn't been throwing well, and the few errors, that doesn't help. Carlos Carrasco, 22 of his 29 pitches have been strikes so far, so he has just dominated. 9 swings and misses already.
A little bit outside, 2-2. Well, just the fact that we're seeing him pitch from in front. His last couple of starts, he was having trouble just commanding the baseball. He looks completely different. He looks like the guy we saw first 6, 7 times out.
He sure does.
Weak ground ball, but foul.
That hit the edge of the grass and came back on Santana. He barehanded it, even though it was a foul ball.
.23 out of 31 pitches have been strikes so far from Carlos Carrasco. Now the 2-2. He just went down and punched that baby to left field and carries all the way to the middle of the warning track. 1 down.
Well, so far Carrasco, you see the sliders and his off-speed pitches. He's been going to that changeup a lot, but his slider is actually his best pitch. So he's starting out this game. He's going to old reliable right there, the slider, and he has been very successful. And a lot of that is because he's ahead in the count. 0-2, 1-2. He has 6 0-2, 1-2 counts out of the first 7 guys.
Blown away, ball 1.
You know, a lot of times, and I'm thinking now early in the games, he's been trying to throw that changeup a lot. You know, it's about 88. And sometimes you can fall in love with a pitch, but his best pitch is his slider when he wants to get him out.
And a foul right back. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, Matt, you were talking about in his last start versus Cincinnati where he struggled with the first 2 innings. The problem he had told me he couldn't find his slider. So, Rick, you're right. He was throwing a lot of changeups in Cincinnati. But once he found a good groove, he finally found his slider. He said about the 3rd or 4th inning he took off. Today it looks like he's starting off with it right away.
Yeah.
He has it.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
That could come from, remember, he had a couple extra days rest when he had that side injury and didn't have sides and things like that because of that injury.
The best games I've seen Carrasco have is when he's got that slider right from the very first inning and he's throwing it hard.
One down here in the 3rd. Trevor Plouffe, the former Twin. Fouled right back our way. Another 1-2. Swung out and missed. Another strikeout for Carrasco. And another beautiful off-speed pitch. Number 5 for the right-hander.
Yeah, 5 strikeouts out of the first 8. And there you'll see the slider. It's off the dish. Gomes tapped it, said away. Give me the slider. Boy, and he did it to perfection.
And with 2 down, Matt Joyce. I guess we could call him the well-traveled Matt Joyce. Just past the 1,000 career games played mark. And in 10 years in the majors, he's been with 5 different teams. Just over 100 career home runs. Came up with the Tigers and then went to Tampa for several years before going to the Angels 2 years ago and spent last year in Pittsburgh with the Pirates. And then as a free agent signed with Oakland this past offseason. Back out of play and the count now 1-2.
Again. Carlos has yet to throw 2 straight balls.
Now the 1-2 pitch coming up. Little breaking ball missed low, and Joyce laying off to even the count.
Let me see. This might have been a curveball here. That didn't look like his slider. It had a little more tilt to it going north-south.
He lays off again, a full count. Carrasco has retired the first 8 straight. He has struck out 5 of them. And now his first full count. The payoff pitch. And it's low, ball 4. So Oakland has their first base runner. And that'll turn it over to the top of the order, Rajai Davis.
Yeah, looking at this Oakland team, they only stolen 17 bases, Matt, 12th in the league. They've been caught 10 times, and you would think with Rajai, the way he did it here last year leading the league, that they'd be much better, but he's only stolen 6 out of 10. For him, that's not good.
Well, obviously he had a hamstring injury that put him on the DL, and you wonder, was that there prior to going on the disabled list? Was he just didn't have the explosiveness that we saw here a year ago? And the other thing too, Rick, is Terry Francona was fairly judicious with how he played Rajai last year.
To me, that's the key. He's what, 36 now.
Yeah. Ground ball right side, it's through. And stopping at second base is Joyce. So Rajai Davis has Oakland's first hit. And now 2 on with 2 out, and Chad Pinder coming to the plate.
You can see he led the league in stolen bases. That's right. I remember he hit for the cycle in Toronto. And how about that? That's right. The homer, the triple, the double, and the single. He did it in reverse order.
Because that's bang.
That is bang.
Carrasco dealing with trouble for the first time today, albeit with 2 outs. Swung on and missed. Chadwick Hudson Pinder struck out his first time up. Played collegiately at Va-Tech. Swing and a miss again. It's 0-2.
He's checking with the umpire to make sure that was a strike. That was one that backed up on Carlos the first time today. That's one.
Was he asking, was it a strike, or was he asking, what was that?
Yeah, he could have asked him that too.
I swung, but I'm not sure what that was.
Jeez, I didn't know he threw that too.
Now the 2-strike pitch. Grounded foul. Again, 2 on, 2 out, 2-strike pitch. And a little high with a heater.
Maybe a little show pitch right there to take him off the slider, because he did throw him 3 straight, even though 2 of them backed up. Another one. He lost that arm angle for a slider.
Ever since he struck out Trevor Plouffe and got ahead of Matt Joyce, he just hasn't been quite as sharp as he was.
That spin didn't have that same tightness that we showed you earlier in the game.
Swung on and missed. Another breaking ball, and he struck him out to end the inning. That's a half dozen Ks through 3 for Carlos Carrasco. No score. For Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, still no score. Both teams have tried to start a 2-out rally with no success. Austin Jackson will lead off the 3rd for Cleveland, popping it out of play. Jackson missed 22 games to the disabled list this month with the left toe injury, but he had a terrific game yesterday.
Came back with a vengeance, didn't he? And he's right back in the lineup today.
He lays off 1-1.
Rajai stayed on that ball yesterday. A couple of hits to right center field. Also a couple of sacrifice flies to center, heading towards right center. So he had a good afternoon.
Austin Jackson with a drive to deep right field. Joyce back. It's over his head and it's gone. Austin Jackson with an opposite field home run, his 2nd homer of the year, and it gives the Indians a 1-0 lead.
Boy, surprising power going that way. That ball shot off his bat. So Jackson gets the Indians going with 1 swing. This is going to be our Yellowwood bringing the lumber. He got a fastball up and out over the plate, and what a nice swing that was. And that thing had some carry to it into the seats. Tribe will lead at 1-0.
Austin Jackson, you won't meet a more likable guy, I don't think, in the game of baseball. We saw some of the smiles in that dugout. I think guys are happy because they've seen the work that he's put in, not only just recently coming back from the DL, but they watched him work his tail off in spring training just to make the club.
Right.
He was no guarantee. Ground ball to short. And Pinder throws out Kipnis, one away. Down to Andre.
Well, this is kind of a combo thing. Yesterday, the Indians had one of their biggest offensive days of the season. I remember talking to Austin Jackson yesterday, and he says we went in with an approach to start hitting the ball exactly where it's pitched. If it's away, drive it that way. We had that conversation through the game, and he's still doing it. The other thing Tito said, and I talked to him, he said it last night, but I talked to him about it today as well. He said he loved that they had all the hits and all the runs, but they got to play with that same energy whether they have 18 hits or not.
Right.
And he says that we have to find a way to be that team no matter if we got 10 runs or we have 2 runs. And he says that feels like the part of the issues they've had this season, that the energy kind of comes and goes. He wants them to have that energy every single night.
Now here's Francisco Lindor. And Lindor didn't even play yesterday. So the Indians had one of their best days of the year offensively without one of their best players who's been very consistent.
It goes to show you that, you can have one of your better hitters sit down and still do a wonderful job. He needs his days off too every now and then, as everybody does. And they're coming into, they're going to have a few off days in the near future. So I was hoping they could build off that yesterday's game.
Both Lindor and the guy behind him, Michael Brantley, bring 12 game hitting streaks into this afternoon's action. Lindor lined out to right field his first time up. Brantley with a ground ball out. Missed outside, 3-1. From the looks of it, Rick, Magnum looks like a guy who wants to work the edges and get the hitter to get out of his comfort zone, maybe chase his pitch.
Yeah, he does.
He tries to paint, and that time he nails the corner, 3-2.
But it's tough to pitch from behind in this league. Continually.
And a ground ball cut off by the shortstop Pinder. 2 down. Injury report today brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. And Oakland certainly has had more than their fair share of injuries. Sean Doolittle, we've seen him in the past. Marcus Semien, pretty good infielder. Chris Bassett and Kendall Graveman, who was in the rotation.
Ryan Dahl is a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah, I mean that's tough to withstand that many injuries at once.
Well, and they just happen to right now be in the wrong division with Houston over there. As you mentioned, Houston with a 10-game lead over the Angels in Texas.
Now the 1-0 pitch. Brantley pops it straight up on the infield. And the shortstop Pinder makes the catch. Austin Jackson gives the Indians a 1-0 lead with his second home run of the year. the honorary guard during the pregame ceremonies, the color guard.
Enjoying a nice afternoon at the ballpark.
He doesn't get much better than this. 78 degrees at game time. Light breeze blowing. Jed Lowry fouled one right off his foot.
It sounded like it. Well, in Chicago, Matt, David Price made his first start of the year. He went 5 innings, had a no decision, gave up a couple of hits, 3 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 4, and gave up a home run. So he's back in action now. Very first start of the year. Boston was leading at 4-3. When I see the Sox took a 5-4 lead.
Yeah. Twins are in a rain delay. Remember I said they were up 7-2. It's now 8-6 Minnesota. Houston coming back in that one.
I don't think they wanted a delay after a 15-inning game yesterday.
Sun-splashed afternoon here at Progressive Field. Some of the cloud cover has moved on out. Lowry fouling it back. One nothing Cleveland on a solo homer by Austin Jackson in the 3rd. Carlos Carrasco has struck out 6. He has walked 1. He's given up 1 hit through the first 3 innings. Jed Lowry is 16 for his last 36. With 9 runs scored, 7 driven in, 5 doubles. In the air, deep center, but Bradley Zimmer racing over, makes an easy catch. 1 down. Our great clip of the game from yesterday, Josh Tomlin. All 9 innings. What a performance by Tomlin when they needed it most. Salvaging the series finale and avoiding the sweep. Yeah, they gave him 10 runs, but they really pitched a whale of a game.
Well, not even a reliever had to get up and warm up throughout the course of the game, so it was a good afternoon for him. First complete game this year, 5th career complete game.
And he'll face the Royals again.
Yeah, right, when we head in there for the weekend.
Yeah, because he's the only starter that will not pitch in this 4-game series against Oakland. The next game after that will be in Kansas City. Chris Davis struck out his first time up.
It was a steady diet of sliders in the first at bat. Now it's a couple of fastballs and he's down 0-2.
Chris Davis became the 7th player in A's franchise history to hit 40 home runs. The 5th since the team moved to Oakland. Reggie Jackson was the first to do it in Oakland. Then of course Mark McGwire, Jose Canseco, and most recently Jason Giambi. But Davis, I mean, who saw that coming?
Well, he hit a few home runs when he was with the Brewers, but you know, as a fielder, offensively, he was sort of a liability. But surprising power.
Yeah, he had 22 homers with the Brewers in 2014. He had 27 in 2015, but to go from 27 to 42.
I know it. Well,
now the payoff pitch. And the other thing about that season that Chris Davis had last year, is that, you think about off-season trades, the hot stove, the winter meetings, that's early December. That trade wasn't consummated until February 12th.
I think a lot of people could have had him.
They were getting ready to go to camp when that trade happened. And the next thing you know, he's in the middle of the A's order.
And may stay there a while.
The 3-2 pitch. Strike three, called it, he knew it. He was guessing, obviously, anything other than fastball, or it was just that fastball was so well located on the outside corner he couldn't pull the trigger.
I think he was looking for a slider, and he got the express, and it's right on the outside edge, as you say, a little comeback to that 96-mile-an-hour heater. And that's what they got him on. The first time they got him on the slider. This time they come back and they get him with the fastball.
I had to chuckle when you said he could be there for a while in the middle of that A's lineup. Nobody's anywhere for a while with Billy Beane.
Well, you're right.
Control.
I take that back then. That's true. Well, you're right, because they don't pay anybody a whole lot. By the time you get to that point, they end up trading and then bringing in younger players. So you might be right. Might have been the wrong thing to say.
Yonder Alonso grounded out his only time up. High fly ball, Brantley. Will he have room? It's in play, indeed. And the side is retired 1-2-3. Here in the fourth, it's 1-0 Cleveland. Yesterday in Minneapolis, a game that featured 17 pitchers and 553 pitches. Finally, it was Evan Longoria in the 15th with a solo homer, and then Logan Morrison came up next, and he went deep as well, as Tampa Bay took 2 out of 3 from first place Minnesota in a wild one yesterday. The game lasted almost 6.5 hours.
Well, we watched Tampa Bay hit 10 home runs here in a 3-game series, so they certainly have the power.
Longest game in the majors this year, longest game in the 8-season history of Target Field. We are still in the record book, though. The longest game in Twins history.
Right here, 6:36.
17 inning, 6 hours, 36-minute game, 1995 against the Tribe.
Tribe won that game, didn't they? 6-5 or something like that.
Carlos Santana called out on strikes his first time up. They had a similar situation that we had last year. Not nearly the same in that Trevor Bauer was scheduled to pitch the next day. He went 5 innings. Erasmo Ramirez was supposed to start today. He pitched the 15th to get his first ever save.
Yeah, and he's starting today.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing. Well, you do what you have to do to win one game, and then you move on.
Yeah.
You know, that's how the game's played, and I like it.
Now the 3-1. That is hammered. Goodbye. Deep into the seats in right field, and the Indians lead is 2-0. Home run number 6 for Carlos Santana. A no doubt about it blast to the seats for the Indians first baseman, giving him 30 runs batted in on the year. Listen.
Yeah. That's a great sound when you're the hitter, and he knew it. Megden knew it, and it's 2-0 Indians.
Edwin Encarnacion looks at a breaking ball that hangs high, 1-0. Encarnacion has picked up a hit in 7 straight games, but grounded out his first time up today. So all 3 hits for Cleveland in the game have gone for extra bases. And this ball's hit hard, deep center. Back is Rajay. He's out of room. It's out of here. Way out of here. Up into Heritage Park. Encarnacion home run number 10, and he's now hit in 8 straight.
Well, that was a really nice swing by Edwin, and that ball traveled, folks. He's in double digits, 3 solo home runs, and their home run streak continues. Look at that. Boy, just stay right through it and up over the wall and over the trees. Ouch. Middle of the plate.
Now Jose Ramirez. He has the other hit today for the Indians, the one that wasn't a home run. He just doubled to right field. 3 solo shots for the Tribe this afternoon. Down in the dirt.
Well, for Megden last year, the first time through the lineup, teams were hitting .230 and he'd given up 3 home runs. Well, they were 2 for 8 and he gave up a home run. The second time through, even one better, 181 and a couple of home runs, but they have the 2 home runs and they're 2 for 5. So he's made some mistakes middle of the plate and up a little bit.
And Ramirez lines one to left center field. That'll get down. Rajay cuts it off. Ramirez going for 2. The throw way off line and over the head of everybody. And Ramirez with a hustle double, his 2nd of the game.
Well, he's starting to heat up, folks. He's starting to do it. He's hitting the ball all over the field. He's pulling it. He's taking it to left. He's taking it to left center. So a pair of doubles, and that's what he was Mr. Double last year. And he challenged the arm of Rajay out in center field, said, come on, throw me out because I'm going. And he was able to go in there standing up because Davis's throw was over the mark. No hesitation there by Jose.
And so runner in scoring position now for Yan Gomes as the Indians open up the 4th with 3 straight extra base hits. Edwin Encarnacion's home run traveled an estimated 451 feet after Santana's home run went 413. A bit outside. Ball 1. Gomes drew a walk his first time up, and as Rick pointed out at the time, that was sort of the precursor that got him going offensively in this month. Just taking his walks, laying off pitches that weren't really in his hit zone.
Yeah, and he was taking quite a few of them. He already has more than he had last year. And it seemed like he was getting to see the baseball much better. And it's a confidence thing, as we talked about with Jan. His confidence was down, and what a great month he has had.
Daniel Mengden looking for his first out of the inning. It's way out into the other batter's box, but Gomes chased after it and helped him out 1-2.
I want to send along happy birthday wishes to Ed Mills of Cleveland, turning 84 today. Ed, happy birthday.
Right back up the middle. It's through. Around third, Ramirez will score. 4-0 Cleveland. 4 straight hits to open the 4th for the Indians.
And the first single of the day, but it's an RBI single by Gomes, so he's been on twice. And it's a breaking ball away, and he likes that ball down. He stayed on it, takes it right back up the middle. Used the big part of the field, hit it where it's pitched. He did just that. Gomes gets his 13th RBI.
No action yet in the Oakland bullpen, but there is some stirring, and now we get a left-hander up firing a baseball. Here's Bradley Zimmer, and he takes a fastball for strike 1 after he grounded out his first time up. Time is called as Zimmer steps away. Oh, it looked low, but he called it a strike. You be the judge.
Where he caught it, it ended up looking like it was a little low.
They went up high with it, but no chase from Zimmer. Daniel Coulombe getting loose in the Oakland bullpen. That one's low. 2-2. Now the 2-2, and it's in the dirt. Nice block that time by Stephen Vogt. His defense, as I pointed out before, has been much maligned this year, but that was a terrific play to keep Gomes from advancing.
Yeah, that's a good curveball in the dirt, and he goes right into the glove. He went with it nicely. A nice save. See if he starts Gomes at first base here in 3-2 count. Why not? 4-0.
Runner holds, and it's lined back off the foot, and he is hurt. That ball goes into left field, all the way to third base. Goes Gomes into second base as Bradley Zimmer with a hustle double. And I got to believe Daniel Mengden's day is over. That ball nailed him somewhere either on the foot or the ankle, and he was in immediate pain.
Well, that ball, yeah, it was. Take a look. Oh, look on the left leg on the
shin burner, maybe
in the shin. Yes, look at he got the right leg out of the way, and it got him on the inside of the shin. And I mean, that ball took off to the outfield. Ouch.
Oh, he's going to try to stick it around, gut it out here.
I don't see any reason right now because he has faced 5 guys, and I mean, they have all hit the ball hard in this inning.
Yeah, the Indians 5 for 5. 2 homers, 2 doubles, and a single.
I'll tell you what, he's tough. He gives a thumbs up. Wow. But it can't be long for him to stay out there.
Now, it looks like Daniel Coulombe is ready if Bob Melvin wanted to make that move, but he's going to give his young starter an opportunity to gut it out, at least for now. Austin Jackson homered to right field his last time up. This inning began with back-to-back homers from Carlos Santana and Edwin Encarnacion. Then double, single, double. Ramirez, Gomes, Zimmer, and now Jackson. Infield in. And a first pitch strike.
Yeah, and for the Indians, that's their 14th consecutive game that they have homered in.
Another good block by Vogt.
Boy, was it ever.
He saved a run for sure there.
Austin Jackson, his last 5 times up. You watch the swing, and every one of them is going the other way or into right center field. I mean, it's almost the exact same swing and a lot of the same results.
Yeah.
And that last one was the home run to right on the line drive. But that's been a beautiful swing for him.
What is the most common denominator, fundamental wise, of hitting behind the baseball?
Well, you let the ball get on you, but you still have to swing the bat and get it out there. It's not like you push it off or anything. You've got to swing it hard. But you know, he's looking for something out over the plate, and he's just staying within himself. He's not trying to overswing. He's really had some great swings, man, since coming off the DL.
Yeah, because that was in that clip of highlights. A couple of those pitches looked like they were in, and
there was one in, and he's still able to get out. But I mean, he gets the barrel head of the bat to that baseball and then swings it.
Second and third, nobody out. 3-1 pitch in the air, right center. Rajay over onto the warning track, makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Gomes. Tagging and going to third is Bradley Zimmer. Austin Jackson with another multi-RBI game. And a 4-run fourth for Cleveland. They now lead it 5-0.
And he did that twice yesterday. Sacrifice fly, and he hit that one to the warning track in right center field. So he is really locked in. He's going to get a lot of at-bats, I'm going to tell you that.
Well, what a great productive out when you get a run home and you get him over.
Get him in, right.
Well, that's going to be it for Daniel Mengden. Bob Melvin gave him one more batter after that line drive that Zimmer hit off of his leg. And the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made. Daniel Coulombe is coming on when we come back. Back-to-back home runs in the 15th inning or later. Yesterday at Minnesota it happened when Longoria and Morrison did it. Third time it's ever happened. You got to go back to '95 when Brian Hunter and Craig Biggio did it at Shea. And before that, Frank Malzone and Dick Stewart for Boston did it at Old Tiger Stadium.
That's the difference. You know, it seems like when you get to extra innings, everybody tries to hit home runs, let alone hitting back-to-back. So it's only happened 3 times. That doesn't surprise me.
Infield still in for the A's. And Daniel Coulombe delivers a first pitch strike to Jason Kipnis, who is 0 for 2. Daniel Megnan went 3 1/3, and according to Todd Moshenik, not one swing and miss today by an Indians hitter.
What's that say? Carrasco had 9 or 10 of them.
He's got 14 so far.
Well, get him in. Get him in. This is what we call a free at bat. Man on third, less than 2 outs, infield in.
And a ground ball backhanded by Pinder, and he'll throw out Kipnis. Zimmer he sort of hesitated and froze.
Up. Yes, he did. You know, you got to be going on contact there with a 5-run lead, I would think. And you know, if he's off on the crack of the bat, he's going to make it, because you can't dive and get up and throw. You see, he had his eye on Zimmer, but he did. He froze. Well, that's one when you can get one as a hitter and they make a play like that. Wasn't directly at him, but with a 5-0 lead, I would send him anyway. Go on contact.
So 2 down. Infield backs up. And Francisco Lindor 0 for 2 today. Swing and a miss. And a strike called. Lindor backs away. I don't know if he's got something in his eye. Yep, looks like it. Now the 0-2. Out of play, right side. Indians with a solo homer from Austin Jackson in the 3rd. And then the first 5 batters all reached safely here to start the 4th inning. Back-to-back homers, double, single, double, and a sac fly from Jackson to make it 5-0. Up and away. Jackson had a terrific game yesterday. He's come right back here this afternoon. Down on strikes is Francisco Lindor, and the inning is over. But another bust out inning for the Tribe. Santana and Encarnacion go deep. 4 on the board for the Tribe. They lead it 5-0. Brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. Made in Ohio, Ohio proud. Ryan Healy will lead off the 5th inning on a beautiful day here in downtown Cleveland. Carlos Carrasco armed with a 5-run lead. He's given up just 1 hit. He has struck out 7 and has looked like his dominant self here today.
Yeah, throwing a ton of strikes, 47 of his 66 pitches.
A line drive that's going to drop in center field. Time for game break. Here's Al Pawlowski.
Well, Matt, Rick, it was a crazy one today in Minnesota. They're still playing. The Twins were up 8-2. They take out Urban Santana in the 8th. The Astros proceed to score 11 runs. And there was a rain delay in there, too. Stros now lead it 13-8 thanks to Josh Reddick's go-ahead RBI double right there. How about that game, guys?
Wow, that is incredible.
Take out Santana, who looked like he would have another win the way he's pitched.
Carlos Beltran capped the scoring with a 3-run homer in that inning. Fly ball to left. Brantley near the line makes the catch. 1 down. Yeah, you talk about some relievers whose ERAs took a hit. Ryan Presley worked a 1/3 of an inning, gave up 5 runs. Craig Breslow worked a 1/3 of an inning, gave up 3 runs. Matt Belisle worked a 1/3 of an inning. He gave up 3 runs.
Ouch. And this is coming off the heels of a 15-inning game where I'm sure those guys had to pitch yesterday, too.
Maybe that has something to do with it.
I think it did.
My goodness. An 11-run inning.
Yeah, that doesn't set the series up real well with game 1, does it?
Well, and you know, I just mentioned you earlier, it looked like Houston was going to get pounded by Minnesota. It was 7-2, and then I told you, hold on, it's 8-6 and they're in a rain delay.
Yeah.
Supposedly that rain delay was in the middle of that 11-run inning.
Incredible.
Trevor Plouffe struck out his only time up in the 3rd inning. He bats with a man on first, 1 out here in inning number 5. And a little low. Three balls and a strike.
Carlos has walked 1 today. That was Matt Joyce back in the 3rd inning, the number 9 hitter, and he had him down in the count 1-2. But the Plouffe here, he fell behind 3-0, trying to come back.
Slowly chopped towards short. Lindor calls off Ramirez and throws him out, 2 down.
Yeah, you know what? That was good. You could hear him talking right there, and it's Frankie did call off Ramirez. Ball certainly was not hit hard enough to go for 2, but we could hear him all the way up here that he said, I got it, I'll take it. And Ramirez backed off. There it is, the hopper. You see how he just peeled off? I got it, I got it. Just like that's communication out there on the field. You may not get to hear that unless you're watching it on TV and hear the crowd mics.
Matt Joyce drew a walk his only time up and looks at a first pitch strike. Yeah, we always think of outfielders having to call each other off and talk. You don't realize sometimes it happens on the infield too. Just usually you don't have enough time to
Yeah, but you're right. But on hoppers like that, and you're only going to get one anyway. Either one of them, I believe, could have made that play at first base, but it was probably an easier play for Lindor because his momentum's coming in and going to first base.
He's encouraging Carlos Carrasco to take care of Joyce here. Got him down 0-2. And the 2-strike pitch is grounded foul. You need sunglasses, you need a visor, you need a cap, you need a whole bunch of sun deflecting apparatus on a day like today. Here's the 0-2. Just missed outside, and Joyce showed a pretty good eye his first time up because he was down on the count and he laid off a couple of close pitches to draw the walk. Seemed like Carrasco tried to get Joyce to chase his slider in the dirt first time up. Maybe he just stays with the express here. Nope, went back to it and he's still not swinging at it. 2-2. High fly ball, center field, routine for Bradley Zimmer. Now he's racing in a little bit, makes the catch. Carlos Carrasco, 5 scoreless, 5-0 Cleveland. Sacrifice so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we have in this country. And a reminder to tune in tomorrow after the game for Indians Live. And then following Indians Live, it'll be the Tribe Report presented by GMC. Alan Jensen will recap the week, bring you up to date on the Tribe's farm system and a whole lot more. New pitcher is Zach Neal. Now you talk about a layoff. He hasn't pitched in 9 days. His last outing was May 20th at Sacramento. That's in AAA.
Yeah, and he was recalled on May 24th. But he spent most of last year with Oakland in 70 innings. Had a 2-4 record, 4.24 ERA.
He had one of these outings against the Tribe last year. He pitched 3 innings and only gave up 1 hit.
Yeah, the Indians were 4-2 against Oakland last year, winning all 3 games here, going 1-2 in Oakland.
Brantley with a liner to right field. It's caught by Joyce. 1 down. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Austin Jackson, an opposite field homer in the 3rd, gave the Indians an early lead. Then in the 4th, Santana, Encarnacion, back-to-back jacks. Then a Ramirez double, a Yan Gomes RBI single up the middle. Austin Jackson with his 2nd RBI of the day. And it's a 5-0 Indians lead. Carlos Carrasco, 5 2-hit shutout innings.
Nice crooked number, and 4 1/4.
Santana hit it hard, but with the shift on. Lowry booted it. What looked like a routine play for the A's second baseman. It goes awry.
You know what people don't get, it's not routine because he's not on the dirt. He's in the outfield. It's going from the dirt to the outfield. It was hit hard, and normally, yes, the play's going to be made. But you know, we think it should be routine, which it should be, but that ball does a little something different on the grass.
But come on, these fields are manicured.
Absolutely perfect.
Not like when you were playing in the outfield. You might have a divot out there.
No excuse. I mean, the play's got to be made, but you know, you play in them. What was he, 30 feet or 25, 30 feet out of the grass?
Encarnacion, routine bouncer to short. This time they do turn the routine play into a double play, and the inning is over. 5 complete, 5-0 Cleveland.
MLB action with all your favorite MLB teams and players. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at rbigame.com.
Rajai Davis will lead off for Oakland here in the 6th. He's 1 for 2. And he fouls it over into the Indians dugout. Fly ball right field. Austin Jackson will put it away, 1 down. This Memorial Day weekend, Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Homes for Our Troops by building mortgage-free, specially adapted homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Learn more about how Homes for Our Troops is enabling our vets to rebuild their lives by visiting foxsportsupports.com. Chad Pinder 0 for 2 has struck out twice today. As we've pointed out throughout the weekend, players are wearing special uniforms commemorating Memorial Day weekend and the holiday. And I have to think that, you know, maybe in particular for a guy like Carlos Carrasco, a game like today maybe means more this year than it would have in years past. It was just last August that Carrasco took his U.S. citizenship test and passed it with flying colors. His teammates helped him study for it.
It was a great story.
Yeah. And that pitch misses outside. But I'm sure it maybe takes on a little more added significance for him. And in particular, we've talked about this at times in the past, given the unrest in his native homeland of Venezuela, where he tries to give back. Gave that one to Pinder, unfortunately. He gives money and resources and so much to try and help those in need in his homeland, Venezuela. But I'm sure he's all the more grateful and thankful for what he has here in the United States.
I bet you're absolutely right.
1 on, 1 out. Jed Lowry to the plate. He is 0 for 2. He is struck out and he is flied out. And Lowry fouling it off. Now the 0-1. Ground ball, double play ball. Lindor will take it himself, steps on the bag. That's that. Middle of the 6th. Cleveland 5, Oakland nothing.
The A's, you can grab a $13 district ticket presented by Sports Time or a $10 KeyBank Kids ticket. Both are available online only. Just go to Indians.com.
Jose Ramirez. He's had a day. 2 for 2, 2 doubles, a run scored. Now, Terry Francona said yesterday, showed what this Indians lineup is capable of. Not that, you know, he's expecting them to go out and score 10 runs, but it showed the potential that this team has. and we've seen glimpses of it. But boy, if they could start to put a few games in a row together.
That's what you have to do. You know what? Last year they were second in the league in runs scored. They didn't have Michael Brantley. They didn't have Encarnacion. And everybody expected, okay, hey, this team's going to take off. You know, we've got a couple of great players in the middle part of our lineup. They're easily going to, you know, be right at the top of the league in runs scored. Well, that hasn't happened. And, you know, it's a combination where you have to pitch well. They did have a string there where their bullpen was so good. When you score late in the game, they hold it. You know, that's all you need. You need one run better than the other team. They've got to get their starting pitching intact. They've got to get their offense going a little bit better, and they will be just fine.
Well, as we bring in Andre Knott, I mean, that is the key. We've mentioned that so many times early in the year. You get a lead after 6, and you know, there's no guarantees in life, but it's pretty much automatic the way this bullpen is pitched.
Right. Well, they turned them into little league games last year. You know, we talk about numbers, and I know baseball's a numbers game, but Terry Francona said something to me earlier today, and I asked him afterwards, and he says, yeah, it's true. I said, you know, Rajai Davis, he says, brought an infectious attitude. He says, throw out the numbers. He goes, but the way he ran the bases, the way he came into the dugout every day, the way he came in the clubhouse, they missed that a little bit this year. Forget the numbers.
Right.
They missed just the attitude of being aggressive on the bases. Professional and showing up and playing. And, you know, we can talk about Mike Napoli and the numbers he put up. But he says there was something about what Raj brought to this team. And it's not pinpointing anyone else. They just don't have that now. And they've got to find some guys to kind of bring that type of attitude each and every day.
Well, that's, yes. Raj just brought him a base stealing mentality. And I think Napoli brought him that one. Throw the ball in the dirt. And I'll tell you what, he's going to be on second base, and he was not the fastest guy in this team by any means. But he had everybody thinking the same way. When your best players do something, everybody else follows.
Well, it kind of comes back to, we'll wait for the 0-2 pitch to Yan Gomes. And Phil Cuzzy rings him up. When you walk in that door every day, you might have had a bad day at home. It might have been a night with no sleep because you had a young kid that was up crying, whatever the case may be. But when you hit that door, all focus has to be on what do we do to win this game. And the one thing I remember that Terry said about Rajai Davis is his sole focus when he entered the room was, what can I do to help this team win today? And that's a great attitude to have when you come to the yard every day during the season.
I'll give you a perfect example. I was talking to Frankie Lindor today about Raj, and he goes, ask him. I'll tell you after this play.
Slow chopper to second. And it's booted again by Lowry.
Wow.
That'll be his second error of the day.
That's why they have 51 errors. Go ahead, Andre.
Well, no, he said, ask Raj what he has on our pitchers and how willing is he to go out and try to steal on our catchers. What I took from that is, because he laughed when he said it, he says Raj has a note on everybody. I just want to know the notes he has on our guys. That's what he did to that clubhouse over here for the Indians.
Yeah. Yeah, he knew. I mean, you know, and the thing of it is, for players, you know, you can be a coach and you can know as much as anybody, but they learn from players more than they do coaches.
Well, now 2 on, 1 out, Austin Jackson to the plate. Jed Lowry would probably like to dig a hole and hide on the infield right now.
I know.
He won't have 2 more routine plays in a game,
true.
and he just boxed them both.
Well, he got away with the first one because he was able to. Neal came back and got the double play ball. He walked the leadoff man, so he needs another one here if he could get it. Ramirez had a huge lead out there.
Almost thought out of the corner of my eye that he was going to take off.
And that's what Vogt's doing. He's going to go out and tell him, hey, don't forget about making that guy stop at second base. Now, the middle infielders have to try and keep him a little bit closer because he had plenty of room that last pitch.
Jackson cuts and misses, and it's 1-2.
Shadows moving in now with the 4 o'clock start. There's a good look. It can't be that easy, can it, to pick it up, or at least pick up the spin on the baseball like normal.
They step off, but nothing doing. I think in the next 10-15 minutes it's going to get even harder until you get the pitcher's mound completely covered in shadow. Runner goes. Whoa, no throw by Vogt. So
well,
2 more steals.
You knew that's what he wanted to do. I mean, they have it in their mind that they're going to run at any time. And he took off, and with the transfer, Vogt just didn't have the grip to throw the baseball. He stopped. So Zimmer following, give Ramirez and Zimmer stolen bases.
And now 2 in scoring position, forces Oakland to have to bring the infield in again. And the 2-2 to Austin Jackson. And he struck him out. Got a piece of it, but Vogt hung on. And that's 2 strikeouts in the inning now for Zach Neal.
Well, he stayed on it and just foul tipped it right into the glove. A little 2-seamer coming back inside.
Is that one where you go back and you say, how did I miss that?
Well, you know, every hitter has his weaknesses, and I think, you know, it used to be for Austin Jackson, you could pitch him up. Everybody elevated the ball and try and keep it in and run it in. That's exactly what he did, and that's probably about that spot right there where he swung. He got a piece of it, but he wasn't able to push it off because it was a fastball, and it had some movement coming in.
Jason Kipnis 0 for 3 on the day. Ground ball to first. Bobbled. Alonso recovers and does get to the bag in time to end the inning. 6 complete. It's still 5-0 Cleveland. Brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And by the stylish 2017 Kia Optima. Oh, that's the perfect grill on this Memorial Day. And if he wasn't here, I know my man Andre would be working the grill at home.
Ooh, you know, I'm going to try it again when I get home tonight if we can keep this thing going. You know, Chris Davis has come up a couple times. You guys have talked about 2 things that stand out. How strong his wrist and hands are when driving the ball out of the ballpark, and why Oakland took the chance on him to come here. Well, one of the things that comes up, we talked last year about his dad being a former scout. So most people think his swing came from his dad. No, his mom used to throw beans, and he would have a broomstick. And that's how he worked on his quick hands and quick wrists. That's where he says all his power comes from and his strength. Also, the Oakland A's did their own work in the 2 off seasons ago about his fly balls in Milwaukee, and they figured it would work out in the Oakland Coliseum, which they're calling Ricky Henderson Coliseum or whatever now. but they said that they saw that his fly ball ratio would work in their park, and they were right last season.
Beans and a broomstick. Man,
yeah, let's try it tonight.
I missed the boat, man.
Santana comes off the bag, applies the tag.
Nice play.
One down. A little high on the throw, but Carlos goes up the ladder and comes down to tag him out.
A little elevated. Rarely do you see Frankie make a throw offline. That was on line, just a little high. Well, Santana thought it was going to be higher than what it really was. But brings the arm down, tags him before he can get the foot on the base. Out number 1.
So who knew it was Chris Davis and the Magic Beanstalk?
Yeah, no kidding.
That's a pretty interesting story, though.
And his dad's a scout. So go figure. Don't listen to Dad.
So much for Father Knows Best.
Yeah. Oh, Mamas always know best.
Yonder Alonso 0 for 2 today. Takes down low.
This is a guy that's interesting. He's worked hard. It's paying off.
That is rocketed out of here. Yonder Alonso, I mean, clobbered that ball. That's home run number 14 for him, and that spoils the shutout with 1 out here in the 7th inning.
Number 10 in the month of May. So he got a fastball to his liking, and he rocketed it out of here.
And to your earlier point, he has now hit more home runs in the month of May than he has in any one season prior to this one.
That's really weird. Now, you know what? You talk about work, and he's very humble about it when he talks about it, too. I mean, he wanted to work on his base, and it ended up, you know, maybe a little lift. He felt like he wasn't driving the ball, and he couldn't hit it. He worked all off season long, and boy, has it paid dividends this year.
Now, granted, some of these are not over the course of an entire season. And I mean, these are years in which he played a number of games in the big leagues, but some of them were 20 games, some of them were 50 games, some of them were 100 games. But Yonder Alonso's first year in the big leagues was Cincinnati. It was only 22 games, did not hit a home run. Next year in 47 games, he hit 5. Following that, he played 155 games with San Diego and hit 9. That was his career high in home runs coming into this year. There's a smash to deep left. That's not coming back. Ryan Healy goes back to back off the Yonder Alonso homer. And Oakland says, hey, we're not done yet. It's 5-2.
Well, they have 73 home runs on the year now, and that's 3rd coming in, and these guys, they can hit it out of the ballpark. I want to see the locations from the last 2 pitches on those home runs and see why Carlos got beat, because he breezed through them the first 2 times through the lineup, and there's one middle in. That fastball. Sure he did. Yeah. He's been throwing them sliders away. They get a fastball in, they're going to turn on it. And he smoked that one into the bleachers. So back-to-back homers, and it's a 5-2 ball game.
Mickey Callaway out to stall for a little time as Brian Shaw gets loose in the Cleveland bullpen. Maybe see if he can get Carrasco back on track here.
Well, that's it. It's 2 mistakes that they jumped all over. They only have 4 hits. They had 2 singles. And now we're going to see, here's the home run from Alonso. Fastball up, and he just smoked that one. He got the barrel of the head out front, and then another fastball, 4-seam fastball. The location of that pitch, not where you want it. And he paid for it both times.
Stephen Vogt is 0 for 2. He has flied out both times today, and he takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Little outside, 1-1. as you can see by the pitch count, in all likelihood, this will be the final inning for Carrasco.
Right. Well, let's see him finish it off the way you know you can, on a good note, positive note.
Second time this year Oakland has gone back-to-back with home runs. In the hole, but Santana cuts it off, and Carrasco beats him to the bag, 2 down. Don't miss the country party of the summer, starring Luke Bryan, special guests Brett Eldridge, Lauren Alane. It's right here at Progressive Field, July 15th. Tickets are on sale, Indians.com/Luke Bryan, or you can charge them by phone at 877-538-6282. Trevor Plouffe is 0 for 2 on the day. And Carrasco with the first pitch strike. I've noticed since the back-to-back home runs, more breaking balls now.
Breaking balls and changeups.
Yeah.
And I know it. Because don't be afraid to throw it. But I think Gomes is calling all the off-speed pitches. That's what he got through the first 2 times. It's just a matter of locating. There you go.
Well-pitched fastball.
Yeah, there it was. It was down. It was beautiful. It had movement.
And the side is retired. Stretch time in Cleveland. And the Indians leading it 5-2.
Is because of our players. And I don't ever forget that for 1 minute. So please try and make the extra effort to get our deserving players, because they are.
Well, All-Star Game voting continues. Midsummer Classic right in the middle of July coming up. Where are we at this year for the All-Star Game?
Miami. Down in Miami, man. South Beach, going down there.
And then
Tito, I'm sure his whole staff and probably trainers, whatever, will be down there because he gets to pick them all. So he wants a few of his players to join him, and why not? That's what it's all about.
2 years, the All-Star game will come back here to Cleveland. Francisco Lindor 0 for 3 on the afternoon.
See if the Indians can come back and answer and put a couple runs back on the board here just to make a statement.
Well, Lindor has hit in 12 straight coming into today. But more important than hitting streaks, he has 26 extra base hits this year. That's the third most in the American League. So he's got 11 homers, but 14 doubles and a 1 triple.
Well, that's the second time he's hit a line drive right at an outfielder today. First time up to right, this time to center.
And with 1 down, it's going to bring up Michael Brantley. He hit a ball right on the nose his last time up, but he hit it right at Matt Joyce, the right fielder. And like Lindor, he's 0 for 3 with his 12-game hitting streak.
And you think about it, even his first at-bat was a bullet to shortstop where he had to go to the backhand and throw him out at first base. That was hit very hard, too. The approach is coming, at least as a team here. The thing I liked about him yesterday, a lot of balls up the middle the other way as far as hits goes. They were spraying the infield, spraying it all over the field.
Well, you know, you mentioned it before. Players have to take ownership. They've got to take charge. Coaches are there to help, but coaches, this isn't high school where coaches are browbeating you or they're screaming at you.
No.
So when you heard Andre earlier say Austin Jackson, some of the guys were talking, hey guys, let's take the approach. If it's away, let's hit it hard. Let's hit it that way. But let's go with what the pitch is. Take what they give you.
Take what they give you is the key word. And everybody do your own job. Don't try to do too much. Don't try and hit every ball out. Just keep it going. It works so well. I mean, when you've got guys with hitting streaks, you know, you should be able to score runs. They shouldn't have a tough time getting runs on the board. And I'm talking more than 3.
Brantley extends his hitting streak with a single up the middle. That's 13 in a row for Michael. And that's the 8th hit of the day for the Indians. 5 of those hits came in the 4th inning. Back-to-back home runs from Carlos Santana, and then watch this swing from Edwin Encarnacion. Boom. Straight away center.
Yeah, he's got the power, man, but he can hit him out of straightaway center field. You know, if he stays on the ball and uses a little more right center field on over, it'd be beautiful. But getting back to that offense, this is game number 50 for the Indians.
Is this 50 or 49? I think this is 49.
All right, game number 49. All right, 24 times they've scored 3 runs or less. So that's half the time. You know, and you would expect this offense, it shouldn't be 50% of the time you can only get 3 on the board. At least in my estimation. They're too good. You have too many good hitters on the team.
Well, it's like, you know, when you look right now at runs scored, and I know that it doesn't always, when you just look at total runs, you know, the Indians have still played fewer games than a lot of teams in the American League, but they're 11th in runs scored.
Right.
And you figure they should be higher than that.
Well, they will be. They will be. They'll get it going. I don't know why.
With Santana facing both left-handed pitching and right-handed pitching in the same game, you'll notice he has the pine tar marks on both shoulders now.
Yeah.
So he's going to force the clubhouse guys to really work hard today.
I know, with Tony, how do you get that stuff out?
They've got ways.
Well, they got ways. I mean, we sit up here, have a cup of coffee or Coke, and spill it on it. We can't even get it out of our shirts. So they get pine tar out of uniforms.
Pitches up high.
Maybe we should ship our clothes down south, huh? What are you laughing at?
Well, I had the clubby in Cincinnati tell me last week or earlier this week we were in Cincinnati. He goes, I've never had to deal with so much pine tar in my life with this guy. He said he went home the night after the first game in Cincinnati. He had it all over his pants. His mom asked him, where were you at? He goes, just dealing with Carlos Santana.
Oh, man.
It's everywhere, by the way. He sprays it on. He does it everywhere.
I know. Well, you look at that right there. Look how much pine tar he's got on the bat. That's above the barrel. And you remember George Brett's pine tar is it's not supposed to be above the label. Supposedly. I don't know if there's in the rule book if there's a measurement.
Since when have you ever been a stickler for the rules?
I don't know. But I knew one thing. You couldn't put pine tar up above the label.
Yeah, the guy showed the George Brett deal the other day when we were off. And I think Tom Verducci mentioned at the time that they've changed the rules. Remember, I think back when it happened to George Brett,
he rejected.
He was gone.
Yeah.
Now they can just take the bat. If somebody really makes a big stink about it,
right,
and they check it, they would just remove the bat, but you don't get tossed from the game.
But is there any dimension? Is it 15, 18, 20 inches, 18 inches?
18 inches.
I'm told.
That's softly hit right center field. Running it down is Matt Joyce.
Pine tar couldn't even keep that bat together.
And there are 2 down. Oh, see, here you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. What difference does it make? There it was. It was a home run, and it's going to count. Look at him measure it. See where the pine tar is? They used home plate. That's 17 inches. So they were going to give it 1 more inch, and he couldn't believe it. That was beautiful. I wish they would have let him go. We got a stranglehold right there. It looks like big-time wrestling.
2 down for Edwin Encarnacion, who homered in the 4th inning. I have to say, I never understood that rule because pine tar is a sticky substance. So if the ball hits that part of the bat,
right,
how's that going to help you as a hitter?
It doesn't help you. I don't understand it either.
Plus, if it's just above the trademark, that's not where you want to hit it anyway.
No, I know it.
It's not like
it's not on the barrel.
Yeah. That whole thing was goofy.
Well, so is Carlos's uniform, so we got to get the remedy. We got to find out what Tony uses. Andre, that's up to you. Heads up, coming your way, Andre. He's got him down there.
1-2 on its way to Encarnacion. Up and away to even it up. Encarnacion, by the way, in addition to extending his hitting streak to 8 games, hitting his 10th home run, he's drawn 30 walks this year, and that's tied for 2nd most in the American League.
Well, you would think with he and Carlos in the middle part of that lineup between the 2 of them, they'd be on base a lot.
Well, Carlos is right behind him. He's got 27 walks.
There you go. Those guys are going to be on base a lot, so it should be cleanup time for the guys behind them when they do get on.
And if they get into one of those really hot streaks, that's when the walks are going to pile up because pitchers are going to say, I'm not taking my chances with this guy.
When they're starting to hit the long ball. Well, the first time they went back-to-back this year in the 4th inning was nice.
Brantley is off on the 3-2 pitch, and Encarnacion pulls it to 3rd. And we'll go to the 8th. Cleveland 5, Oakland 2. Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. We go to the 8th inning, and the Indians leading at 5-2. Andrew Miller coming on for Cleveland, making his 22nd appearance of the year. He's held the opposition to a meager batting average of .148. Scheduled hitters, Matt Joyce, then right at the top of the order, but we're going to get a pinch hitter. Joyce, a left-handed batter, will be lifted for Matt Kane. Or Mark Kane, excuse me. And that's ball one. Mark Kane batting .234 on the year. He's 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter.
Not an easy task having to face this guy in the shadows. Well, the book on Carrasco today, 101 pitches, 68% strikes. He had 9 outs on 3 pitches or less. 14 swings and misses, and the first 4 starts, they won all of his starts in May. They're looking to make it 5, although he's looking for his first home win of the year, Carrasco.
Strike call. Mark Canha was originally drafted by the Florida Marlins in the 7th round out of the University of Cal Berkeley. Probably feels a little more at home with the Oakland A's. Grounded foul. Mark Canha was called up from AAA Nashville on May 9th. And in 14 games since then has 13 hits. But he's no match for Andrew Miller. Strikeout. And for Miller this year, that is strikeout number 34. It is 25 in the 3rd innings. Kia in the driver's seat. Most stolen bases among active players. Rajay right there near the top behind Jose Reyes and Ichiro. But when you look at Rajay last year, to lead the league at age 35, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think Ricky Henderson was the last guy to do it.
In 1998, Ricky Henderson led the league with 66 stolen bases at the age of 39.
How about 39?
He stole 66 bags. 1998. Yeah. And I mean, before that, Rick, it was 1974 when your man Lou Brock swiped 118 at the age of 35.
Wow.
That's
incredible.
That's even more mind-blowing.
Well, the thing here with Rajay too, he wasn't an everyday guy. Remember the platoon system they had last year in this outfield that Tito used so beautifully, where he mixed and matched, and you know, at Rajay's age, he should get some time off.
Swung at a ball in the dirt, strikes out, 2 down. Rajay did end up playing at 134 games last year, but Terry was very.
Just an unhittable slider down. And you know, like I say, it must be awfully tough to pick it up now.
the most games Rajay has ever played in a season was 143 with these Oakland A's back in 2010. He also played 142 games with the Blue Jays in 2012. Pinder shoots one foul. Oh man. Right over there and there where Andre sits at the corner of the dugout. That's
he's got protection. That's all protection for him. That's all protection for Andre. That's his offensive line right there, or actually his defensive line. He can hide behind him.
He's playing linebacker?
Yes, he is. He hides behind him.
Abraham Almonte on the DL. He was being pushed into action there by Eric Gonzalez, saying, "You take one for the team. I'm on the active roster right now." 2-1 pitch fouled away. Pinder has struck out twice today. He was hit by a pitch once. And right now, Andrew Miller trying to retire the side in order. And a foul right back. Well, the final score in Minnesota today was Houston 16, Minnesota 8. An 11-run inning in the 8th for Houston propelled them to victory today. So the Indians, chance to cut the deficit to a single game as Andrew Miller strikes out the side here in the 8th. Brought to you by Mazda. Follow Tomlin's lead. Well, Carlos Carrasco used the map and did a heck of a job. 7 innings, just 4 hits allowed, a couple of home runs. That was it. 7 strikeouts. And the Indians did score first with a solo shot in the 3rd. Back-to-back solo shots in the 4th. They tacked on 2 more, and they lead at 5-2 now, heading into the bottom of the 8th. Liam Hendricks, right-hander, is the new pitcher. Defensively, Mark Canha is now in right field. And Jose Ramirez set to lead off the home half of the 8th for Cleveland. Ground ball right back up the middle, and that's through. And another 3-hit day for Jose Ramirez.
He's getting it, Matt. He's getting it back.
Now it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Take us through Carlos's performance today.
Well, you can see the movement. He had there's a nice changeup right there. He had a very good slider early in this ball game, executing perfectly. 14 swings and misses, 11 times 3 pitches or less. He's been able to get outs. He ended up with a great afternoon, 7 strikeouts, 2 mistakes with his fastball that were hit out of the ballpark. Other than that, he was dynamite.
Yan Gomes looks at a strike. One ball, 1 strike.
The Indians with 9 hits on the afternoon. 5 of them came in that 4th inning. And then they had 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 7th, and now 1 in the 8th. But 6 extra base hits today. Three homers, 3 doubles.
Now the 2-1, swung out a miss. Low and away. And here's that patience by Yan Gomes.
Well, he's been on 2 out of the 3 times. They walked in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, drove in a run, struck out, taking a called 3rd in his last at bat. Yeah, does he start Ramirez here with the stolen bases and the problems that Vogt's having behind the plate?
Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down. Not nearly in time. Jose Ramirez has himself a stolen base. Yan Gomes down on strikes.
Yeah, you have to try now. You got a 3-run lead, and why not get your man in scoring position? Gomes swings through a fastball here, but the throw is bounced, and he wasn't able to pick it and tag Jose. So another stolen base, and now you're in scoring position. Got a chance to add on.
Bradley Zimmer, 1 out of 3 today. He doubled back in the 4th inning. Up and away. Washington, San Francisco, 3-0 Nationals. But the story in that game, Hunter Strickland beamed Bryce Harper, and Harper went to the mound. He tried to throw his batting helmet at him and missed by about 10 feet. But then they started throwing haymakers, and it looked like Harper connected on a couple of good punches. Both were ejected from the game. Fouled back out of play.
I'm sure we'll see plenty of highlights of that tonight.
If you're Major League Baseball, that's not the guy you want to see getting a suspended.
Well, obviously he felt that he threw at him. That's why you charged him out.
He nailed him right on the hip.
Well,
but he obviously felt he was throwing at him because he went right out after.
Yes, we don't know the situations, but obviously something had to, there's a history there.
Upstairs. In most situations in baseball, and this goes back for as far as you can think, most of those dust-ups are all posturing, pointing, shoving.
Yeah.
Very rarely does anything happen. This was a full-on haymaker fest. The 2-1. Zimmer fouled it in and out of the glove. Well, the catcher Stephen Vogt, and it's 2-2.
Well, that's all it would take is just one throw. Maybe you dislocate your shoulder or something like that happens to a player in something like that. And hey, it's happened before. Players have never played again after something like that, or were never the same. Let's put it that way.
Time call. You get that many people that close together, somebody's bound to get spiked.
Oh yeah, you
either
get stepped on
intentionally
all
or
the time,
accidentally,
just trying
or
to
whatever.
hold somebody, because the pile moves from the inside out, and everybody gets backed up, and you're backpedaling. If you're on the outskirts, you are getting stepped on.
Two. Zimmer takes strike 3 called, and there are 2 down.
Well, celebrate your Cleveland pride Wednesday with the Defend Together t-shirt. It celebrates the Cavs' 3rd straight NBA Finals appearance. You can get yours with an upper box or upper reserve ticket purchased online only. Just go to Indians.com. And good luck to the Cavs. They'll be kicking in gear on Thursday evening.
Austin Jackson. He homered to start the scoring today in the 3rd. Then had a sacrifice fly that capped a 4-run 4th. Struck out his last time up in the 6th inning. $20,792 for the attendance on this Memorial Day here at Progressive Field. And those who are here have been treated to a perfect afternoon. And the hometown team has played well. A well-pitched game. They swung the bats, a couple of home runs. Trying to add on here to their lead in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, I see Cody Allen up. He's throwing. He'll be in no matter what, even if they do score. It's not a safe situation, I would think.
Somebody just sent me a message. In the 2014 postseason, Bryce Harper took Hunter Strickland deep twice.
Okay, well, there you have it. A history goes back. So it took him a couple years to get even, huh?
I don't know. Again, I'm getting this kind of bits and pieces, but I don't know if that's the only reason he threw at him today. The 2-2. Jackson takes, and another called 3rd strike. So 3 straight punch-outs for Liam Hendriks after the leadoff single here in the 8th inning. We'll go to the 9th, 5-2 Cleveland.
To try to pick up the save. They lead the A's 5-2 here on Memorial Day. Welcome back to center field along with Jensen Lewis. Al Pulowski, great to have you here. And Jensen, today, boy, I'll tell you what. Well, first, the sun is in my eyes. I can't see you. Second, what another well-pitched game for the Indians.
You know, Tomlin needed it yesterday. Carlos Carrasco, an 8 ERA in his last 2 starts coming into today. He really got the Indians where they need to. Also helps when you get the long balls in support.
All right, I'm going to go get a visor and some sunblack, guys. Matt and Rick will send it back to you. And join us for Indians Live. Brought to you by
Al, how many fingers do I have up?
Where's your flip down?
1, 2. You got 3, right? I think. I don't know. I can't see.
Arch is not happy you don't have your flip downs. Come on.
I know. I got to go get those.
No, a true professor. Too late. Sorry. You
I'll
bring
get
him
Tony
out.
Amato. He'll help me out.
What, the sun wasn't out all day today or what?
It changed on us.
No, that's an excuse. That's a bad excuse.
Yeah, you're right.
Cody Allen trying to nail it down here in the ninth. Stay tuned for Indians Live with Alan, Jensen, Andre, and the whole crew coming up next. Cody 13 out of 14 on the year. He's got Jed Lowry, Chris Davis, Yonder Alonso, and a swing and a miss by Lowry. He is 0 for 3 today. Daniel Robertson has taken over defensively in right field here in the bottom of the ninth. And a ground ball right at Jason Kipnis. Scoops it up, throws him out. 1 down.
Stepping to the plate now for Oakland, number 2, Chris Davis.
Chris Davis 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts. Curveball low and away. We're right back with you tomorrow. Tomorrow and Wednesday, both 6 o'clock starts. And then on Thursday, the homestand wraps up with a noon start. Hope to have you with us either here at the ballpark, right here on Sports Time Ohio.
Yeah, Thursday will be June 1st.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, happy no-hitter anniversary day.
Tomorrow.
I don't know if that's a thing or not. Well, it was Memorial Day, though.
Yeah, it
Ray
was.
Foster
Right.
said it
On
was
Memorial Day, on the 30th. Right.
1977.
That is correct.
Dennis Eckersley threw a no-hitter.
Over at the old ballpark, yeah.
So Foss had the plate. You were in center.
Mm-hmm.
Who else do you recall?
Pipe was on second.
Okay.
Buddy was at third. 1-0 ball game against Frank Tanana. We had 1 hit. They had none. And we scored in the first inning.
1 hit in the first
triple,
inning.
Squeezed them in, and that held.
That was it.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
1 run in the first inning on 1 hit, the only hit you got.
Yeah.
And that's back when Frank Tanana was a flamethrower.
Yeah, he could get it up there. Yes, he could. We'd show you some video, but they didn't have any back then.
Well,
no, they have his last pitch. I know that.
That's about it. The news stations here in town raced down to the ballpark when they got wind of it.
Right.
But, you know, it wasn't the easiest place to get to. By the time they got in and got set up, it was already in the 9th inning. He was dealing, Tanana was dealing. It was going fast. They got set up, and I think they literally have the last pitch, the last out captured, and that's about it.
Basically, but same thing with Lenny's perfect game.
That was on TV, though.
Well, that's true.
One of the rare home games that was televised that year.
Pretty good pitch there.
Dick Bosman's no-hitter in '74. I don't know that there are any moving pictures.
Yes.
From that one.
I don't recall seeing
if anybody has any newsreel footage of that or not.
I did not see any.
Cody Allen winds the 3-2. High pop up, back out of play. Cody Allen with the payoff pitch. Fastball, and it's high in the air. Left center field, deep and gone. Chris Davis with his 16th home run of the year. one behind the American League leader Aaron Judge. And that cuts the gap to 5-3.
Now, when he hit that, did you think it was gone?
I did not.
Because he hit it sky high, but boy, did that have some carry to it.
But the ball has been carrying today. We'll say that. We've noticed it.
I mean, he wasn't going to walk him. He challenged him with a fastball, and he got it, and he hit it.
I'm not sure Davis thought it was going. Look how high in the air he was looking. Well,
that's what I'm saying. But look where it lands. I mean, he put a good swing on it, and it leaves the yard, makes it a 5-3 game now.
He hit it. Looked like it hit off the facing of the entranceway where the fans walk through. So that's what, about 10, 12 rows up in the bleachers?
Well, terrific power.
Yonder Alonso homered his last time up, and there's a nasty curveball for a strike. It's 0-2. Swinging a foul back. Now the 0-2 pitch. And another fastball fouled back. Alonso hit his 10th home run of the month back in the 7th inning. More than he's hit in any single season prior to this one. Swung out and missed. Cody Allen strikes him out. And the Indians are one win away from a series opening win.
Gets him with a curveball, and it's an excellent pitch location wise. It's going down out of the strike zone, and once you commit, you can't hold up.
There's a strike call to the outside edge. Ryan Healy homered his last time up. He is 2 for 3 on the afternoon. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Crowd of just over 20,000, or just under 21,000, however you want to look at it. Up on its feet, the 0-2 swing. No, he didn't go. Check swing, and it went back to the screen. With that home run back in the 7th inning, Healy has hit 6 homers in his last 22 games.
They certainly have some power.
And there's a smash up the gut, and it's going to bring the tying run to the plate.
He throws the curveball here to Healy, and just maybe a little too much of that plate. You can see it was on the inner part. And he stayed back on it and drives it up the middle. So another hit that brings the tying run to the plate now for the Oakland A's.
And it's Stephen Vogt who is 0 for 3 on the afternoon. They're going to let the runner take off. Vogt fouls it straight back. And Healy has to return to first. Indians are going to let him go. They're not going to hold him because the run that matters to them is the one at the plate. And with a left-handed hitter up there especially, they want to let Santana try and play deeper, take away any kind of ball that he pulls on the ground. And he shoots it the other way. And a base hit in the left field, in Oakland with back-to-back 2-out hits will now send Trevor Plouffe to the plate.
Again, the curveball. Vogt stays back on it. That's a pretty nice job of hitting right there. Got that pitch down and took it the other way to keep it rolling.
Well, Bob Melvin's team is not going down without a fight here in the bottom or in the top half of this 9th inning. He had a pinch runner for Vogt at first base. Josh Phegley comes into the game. And all of a sudden, things are getting dicey. The tying run is at first base. The go-ahead run now at the plate. And Phegley cuts and misses. Excuse me, Plouffe cuts and misses. Phegley, the runner, is at first base, representing the tying run. Trevor Plouffe 0 for 3 on the afternoon, and struck out once and grounded out twice. But certainly knows Cody Allen from his days with the Twins. Now the 1-1. Swung on and missed. Cody and the Indians 1 strike away from nailing it down. And once again, this crowd up on its feet. Memorial Day drama here at Progressive Field, and the 1-2 pitch from Cody Allen. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. The throw to first ends the game, and the Indians take the series opener by a final score of 5-3. The Indians go to 26-23 on the year and are now just 1 game back of front-running Minnesota in the AL Central. Carlos Carrasco, the winner, he's now 5-2. The save to Cody Allen, his 14th on the year. Oakland drops to 22-28. Daniel Mengden, in his season debut for Oakland, takes the loss. So, hey, all in all,
hey, you get the win. Start. Carlos Carrasco gets his first win at home. They jumped out. They had a nice 4-run 4th inning. Back-to-back home runs for the first time for Santana and Encarnacion. Yeah, they come back, and Oakland's not going to quit. Cody Allen, again, having a tough time commanding his fastball. Gave up 3 hits, but, you know, gets his save. So they got to tighten it up, but they get the win and keep right on rolling. Win the first game of this 4-game series.
The final score, Cleveland 5, Oakland 3. Some final thoughts right after this.